I carried a watermelon to the swamp. Hi, everyone. Welcome
to the swamp, where I wish we had some watermelon to eat into the microphone like ASMR, crunching into cold watermelon.
Oh my god, honestly, yeah.
Slurping it. I bet, no, that's some freaky shit that we put behind a paywall. That's on the Patreon. Well,
yes, yeah. Go to the Patreon if you want to hear us slurp on some watermelon.
No, just don't.
Some crispy, long watermelon. They had long watermelon.
They were huge. I was going to say, if you carried that watermelon to the swamp, I'd be impressed. They were huge. Yeah. And oblong.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, no. Only one watermelon for me, thank you. But yeah, hi everyone.
Hi. Wait, did we say that it was an acronym?
No, we didn't, but it is.
Yeah, the name of the show is The Swamp. It's an acronym.
Stands for Some Whack-Ass Movie Podcasting.
My name is Dara. I'm here as always with my lovely co-host Emily.
Hi ladies.
How are you today?
I'm exceptional because this is much, much overdue.
Right.
Welcome everyone, if you're just tuning in now, to Patrick SMayze. It's our May theme,
yeah,
of course.
The month of May.
Yes.
We're doing a bad pun, except this time it's kind of a good pun.
It's pretty solid. You really outdid yourself.
And the power of Patrick Swayze is like erupting into my life with such a presence and a force. Having watched this, Ghost, and Roadhouse all back to back to back. And then whatever we watch next week, I'm sure we'll just continue that. I'm like manifesting a Patrick Swayze summer.
You and I for the last week have looked at each other and just been like, it's everything we do. We're like, it's a Patrick Swayze summer.
Yeah, I'm trying to embody everything that this man is about.
It means you're nice to people.
You're in a tank top.
And sexy.
You're in a tank top. You're
probably have a mullet.
A little bit sweaty. You're in a union. Yeah, you're being nice to people.
You love your girlfriend.
Yeah. Being respectful.
But and you look really hot doing all of it.
Standing your ground and like also standing up for yourself too as well.
Absolutely,
and dancing to some like cool 80s music.
It is a Patrick Swayze summer. You have heard it here first, folks. We're setting the precedent.
Because, I mean, of course, the convention of like it's a blank summer, it just works. You can just say that, right?
Sure.
But I like really manifested one year. I had a rat tail summer.
And I would say that worked out well for you.
Because I got rat tails and I kept saying that it was
R.I.P. actually to Dara's rat tails.
Yeah.
2023 to 2025.
25, yeah, 2 years. I'm gonna just wait until my hair is long enough and get them again. So they're not, long,
but not forgotten.
But not forgotten. But a rat tail rock lobster by the B-52's blue slushy summer was like, I have it immobilized in my mind. So now, we got to pick something, a Patrick Swayze summer, we got to pair it with some other things. So it's May, so we're still workshopping.
Yeah, we're workshopping. But everyone, let us know what kind
of summer are you having?
What would you put on your mood board for the summer? I want to know. I want to hear it. But I would put just about every single frame of this movie on my mood board.
Specifically when he's sitting, I think it's like on the ground or on like a chair or something.
Yes, while they're in their fishnets dancing in front of him.
And the two of them are in their fishnets and she's like teaching her and he's just like sweaty on the ground. That's like the hottest.
Shirtless. Yeah, he's like drumming along to the song. Yeah. Just soft and there, but still hot and sexy.
But Dirty Dancing is probably Patrick Swayze's most known and notable movie.
Absolutely. It was his big, I think both him and Jennifer Grey's big break.
Yeah, big break, huge 80s, late 80s
iconic, hit. Yes.
And this is one of your favorite movies, like, of all time, right?
Yeah, well, I remember you and me when we started, like, really being friends. We were maybe 14 years old. And I think you were really getting into movies, and you were like, hey, let's show each other our favorite movies. And you picked Kill Bill, and I, probably to your dismay, picked this.
Right.
And I said, this movie means the world to me. And I will say that it still holds up.
No, and I did judge you.
That's fair. And that's, I did. As a 14-year-old who's, like, watching, like, the Royal Tenenbaums for the first time, that makes sense.
No, and it was all about, like, being cool. And what is cool, and that movies are cool.
Oh, fuck John Hughes, but also still fuck John Hughes. He sucks.
And this, Dirty Dancing to me always, I had never seen it, but I would have categorized it as being like a sleepover movie.
Yes.
Like something that would have been put on against my will.
I would still call it a sleepover movie.
Oh, absolutely. Chick flick,
that's what we came over. I came over and ate pizza and drank wine with you.
Exactly. Whatever you want to call it.
It's a girls' night.
I don't think it's diminishing to call something a chick flick.
No.
Like, Yeah, it was a movie made by women for women. Their audience, their intended audience was young women.
Well, I think it absolutely landed as well as it did because it was written by women. I think there's a lot of things that are I said this to you while we were watching it. I think there's obviously certain things about this movie that are still very corny, but I think you get a lot of really like good golden nuggets in there where like, especially like this does pass the Bechdel test, which for an 80s movie is not like, I feel like that's still a solid high bar.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we want to get into like the politics of this movie, I guess as far as like, you know, the 80s representation, it's about the 60s. So it's like we're getting a story set in the 60s told from the perspective of, you know, 1987. Yeah. And so it gets a little bit muddy, especially because we're dealing with this abortion issue.
Absolutely. Which they never say abortion.
The whole movie is revolving around this conflict that Patrick Swayze's dance partner gets pregnant and needs an abortion. And the abortion needs to happen the one night that the traveling abortion doctor is, you know, the traveling abortion doctor is only in town the same
for one night
only. Get your tickets, and it's the same
watch
night.
Penny get her uterus scooped out
Same night as the big performance,
of course.
And so she can't make it, and that's why she has to sort of pass the duty off to Baby, played by Jennifer Grey, who has a rich doctor dad, and she just goes and asks him, like, hey,
can I have $2,500?
There were several moments in this movie where I asked a question out loud, and then it was answered to me by the screenplay, which I think is, like, indicative of pretty strong writing.
Yeah, solid.
That I was like, I was like, what state are they in? And then they said it. It was, like, great. But for this, we were like, how much does an abortion cost? And we're like, well, how, you know, today's cost versus then. And like, I wonder, you know, I was Googling like abortion in 1963 because I can imagine that that is wildly different than even the 80s. Yeah. And then to think, you know, what kind of access we have today. Of course.
But they threw out the $250 number.
Yeah, they gave us that price tag, and they said it was $250, which according to inflationcalculator.com is $2,600. So $2,600.
Fucking nuts.
In US, you know, dollars today, which is a lot less. I think the average abortion cost
is like
upfront out of Planned Parenthood is like $700 or so now. So, like, for me, so she's getting some back alley shit, which then they say that he used like a rusty knife and he just scooped her shit out. Like, then Baby's dad has to come in and save the day so that she doesn't fucking get sepsis or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely. She can still have kids afterwards, which I'm like, that medically doesn't seem right, but okay.
But the way that this movie like deals with this issue is so, like, it dances around
It's very tact.
But yet there are some scenes that address it so seriously and straightforwardly. Like, a doctor comes in to help a young woman who just had a botched back alley abortion and, like, makes sure that she's okay. And that is never presented. I mean, they always call it her problem or her issue or this bad thing. You know, it's never presented as being a good thing.
The guy that got Penny in trouble.
But we still see Penny as being like a character who is worth respect and gets a narrative and gets to, you know, advocate for herself. So it's a lot more care to the subject than I would have guessed from an 80s movie.
It's also just one of those things, like, they give you, because I feel like in an 80s movie, and I think a lot of these characters, these female characters, get like a very well-rounded, like, backstory, and you get a good understanding of them, and they're not the characters that you get out of like 80s movies. And I'm gonna reference John Hughes probably a lot tonight because he writes women so fucking poorly.
Terrible.
It sucks. But you get to know like who Baby is. Also, the fact that a fucking abortion was, she went up to her dad and like, at least watching this movie as a kid, you know Baby's rich. You don't know how rich.
Yeah.
Who asks their dad for $2,500 and whose dad gives it to them?
Like, she didn't explain.
She said no. She said, I literally cannot tell you. And he said, I trust you.
He said, is it for something illegal? And she goes, no, of course not. He goes, I don't know why I would have asked that. You're so great. Here you go. $2,600.
Yeah. Nuts. But I think, like, even Penny, I think one of the things that I got a lot out of this watch, which I've probably watched this movie 30 plus times in my life, at least. But like Penny, I mean, they really give you this, like, in maybe like a 5-second clip of her and Baby going back and forth. Baby's trying on wigs, and Penny's like, oh yeah, like, or like Baby asks her like how she got into dancing, and she's like, I heard you were a Rockette. And she goes, yeah, my mom kicked me out when I was 16 and I've been dancing ever since. Not that I wanted to do anything else anyways. Mm-hmm. And that's literally all you need to know. But at the same time, like, thinking about if a man directed this, you wouldn't even get that. Because no man is, like, even going to give them the time.
No, and she also, like, would have been shamed a lot more.
Absolutely.
Also, wait, pause, though. I love that they were trying on wigs as, like, a activity.
I think we should bring that back.
Let's bring that, like, dress-up time for adults. Let's do, like, what is it called? Like, Pretty Princess?
Yes.
Like, those birthday parties. Let's
come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying yesterday, I wish we had adult.
Let me try on a couple of lace fronts.
I wish we had adult playgrounds, stuff like that.
Which is kind of like those trampoline parks, but it's not the same.
Because you and I know firsthand that is not. Listen, I'm past 25. My joints aren't made for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, watching this movie, we both were like, oh my God, imagine trying to move your body like that. It couldn't be me.
I think I could manage a Jennifer Grey level of performance, but obviously not what Penny is doing.
Oh, like the legs just up to the ceiling.
Like literally like beyond like 180 degrees. She's hyperflexing like that shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it's possible.
Like, actually, you should talk to someone about that girl. They're not supposed to bend that far. Like,
girl, are you sure you need an abortion? That thing's just gonna pop right out.
Oh my God.
Just bear down, you're fine.
But I remember when you showed this to me, and I remember being like, okay, it's like some 80s like kind of bullshit, because I'd seen, my parents had made me watch The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and like the classic. So I was like, oh, this is just gonna be like some 80s thing. But I do remember liking it and having a certain respect. I think when people are like performing at that level, it's just so captivating.
Absolutely.
To, like, watch people move like that.
Oh, yeah.
And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Kenny Ortega.
Of course.
Who may or may not be like
canceled,
pretty questionable, like maybe some grooming.
Probably canceled.
Kenny Ortega. I didn't know that he was a student of Gene Kelly.
I didn't know that.
So he was like Gene Kelly's protege. Yeah, that makes so much sense, right? Yeah, and so it's like,
no wonder, yeah.
And so Kenny Ortega, who notably does all the High School Musical and all the Disney choreography, he did this movie as well, which why it really has that, I don't know.
That spice, that zest, yeah. Oh my God. Well, it's also, I mean, like, the chemistry, I will say, is really impressive. And you heard me yap this entire time about how Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey did not like each other coming onto this movie.
Because of, what was the one before, Red Dawn?
Red Dawn, yes. Yes, they did a movie together before this called Red Dawn, which is in contention for next week. So anyone, if you have... Speak now if you have any other Patrick Swayze requests, please. But, they worked together on Red Dawn, and I don't think that either of them got a good impression of the other one. And so when they both got cast in this, there was a little bit of tension, but I think they probably, they might have got past it, they might not have. But the chemistry on screen is fucking delicious.
Yeah, especially when I read a little IMDb fact that a lot of those scenes of them like crawling on the floor and a lot were like outtakes from when they would just be getting like warmed up in character.
Really?
Like unscripted. Just
no
like,
way.
Oh, like let's just like dance around, and they would just be rolling the cameras, and like that's what they used for a lot of the like B-roll of them.
Hot.
You know, just because like that's how they were acting. Yeah.
Because you do, essentially you are warming up not only to dance, but to get into character. Mm-hmm. To be like, this is the man that I am really attracted to, which I can't imagine that's very hard to get into
with the Swayze.
Yeah. Oh no, I have to pretend like I think he's sexy. Good God. Yeah, no, but Kenny Ortega, he really never misses with that spice.
He got them together, especially that big dance number at the end, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Where, they have their big duet moment. He lifts her. They succeed on the lift, but then Patrick Swayze like goes out into the audience, and it's suddenly like
with his homies.
It's suddenly a group dance, and this is where Kenny Ortega really shines for me. Is in like
the big numbers.
We're all in this together group numbers.
It was very that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing that stood out to me this watch is the fact that I feel like I never really honed in on the time span of this. Right. Because I will admit, this is one of those movies for me where if I get the urge, I have to put it on. I got the urge last week. I think it was just because I knew we were going to cover it this week. So I was like, I want to pregame. I'm going to pregame Dirty Dancing with Dirty Dancing.
I like it.
So I watched it last week. But I was, at first I did miss the line that they were going to be there for 3 weeks. And I thought it was, they're over the course of 1 week, which is wholly unbelievable.
Wait, I can't believe you thought it was 1 week. The first time I watched it, I thought it was the whole summer. 3 months. Or, the better part of 3 months.
Yeah, no.
But that's for a realistic, relationship.
A real timeline, yeah.
Well, I guess whatever. I'll give 3 weeks, sure.
Stranger things have happened in worse movies. You know what I mean? It's the unbelievable romance at an insanely fast pace.
Right. And I don't think this movie doesn't give us anything. I mean, they like sleep together. That's the insinuation.
Sure.
And that they take that step or whatever.
Yeah.
But this movie doesn't promise us anything really serious about Patrick Castle and Baby. It's just sort of just like Patrick Castle, oh my god.
Johnny Castle, Patrick Swayze, whatever.
Johnny Swayze. Patrick Castle.
But I think that's what I like about it too, is because there's not like this understanding that, they're going to ride off into the sunset. It was just the perfect ending to a fun movie. They dance into the sunset and that's that.
Well, it's also very much the story of the class divide.
Yes.
Because you have Baby is from a very wealthy family who's staying at the resort, and then Patrick Swayze is an employee of the resort.
The entertainment.
Yeah, and so then once she finds this, sort of barn where all the...
Yeah, it's very Footloose dance.
Yeah, all the lower class people go...
all the working class kids go and dance and grind on each other.
Dirty dancing, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But, when she's like, oh yeah, I could get you some abortion money, they're like, what the fuck? Okay, Richie Rich.
Wait, speaking of, can we talk about how it's so crazy? So... the night that she goes and fills in and does the dance for Penny, because Penny's getting her abortion, she has to run to her father, go get him, say, hey, Dad, I fucked up. Let me fill you in. Come help this poor girl. She has I wouldn't say a blowout fight, but a pretty bad interaction with her dad after that. And he was like, is that what my fucking money paid for? I have to go help this girl that you got an abortion now? You're not the girl that I thought you were. And the way that she still goes after that to Patrick Swayze to get boned is wild.
Yeah, wait.
Could you imagine having especially this is the first time she's really let her father down in her life. That's probably the first time she's hit a new low with him. She's probably not feeling good, which maybe does make sense as to why she's going to find validation from this man. But wild
that you can still get it up.
I mean, well, if you're gonna do it for someone, it's gonna be Patrick Swayze,
No, this movie,
but still truly impressive.
This movie had a lot of unexpected, father-daughter, good relationship representation of I don't know, just some
Jake.
Was that his name?
Yeah, Jake.
It's just very wholesome moments, because there were some times where she was crying, but he would be crying as well, and he was shown as being, of course, this very well respected.
He's a girl dad,
masculine figure, but he was also showed a lot of emotion,
absolutely,
at certain points. And I also like that the drama between them was more about not telling the truth than it was about the
actual act.
The issue of the abortion. It was more the lying and the sneaking.
Yeah, I thought I thought we had a better relationship than this.
Right, and I like that that's what that fight was about, and not
it's I know I let you down, but you let me down too. Is such a good fucking line.
But it's also it's a PG-13 movie, and we can't say the word abortion. So
no. But I will say it's really exceptional the way that this movie, for 1980 something or whatever, covers abortion in a very neutral way. And even I wouldn't say pro-abortion, because it is still very her daddy's tisk tisk.
But I still
think she got a bad abortion, so scary. But
bringing it up at all was a very courageous and I'm sure thoughtful act. And I know
you mentioned
it was asked to be cut several times,
which that's crazy, because that's the whole plot
of the movie. I would also be we can't change the abortion thing. That's the whole crux of the conflict.
Well, you mentioned to me that's why the movie couldn't get funded, and that's why it was an indie movie, basically.
Yeah, it was because I think it was being pitched by this woman, Eleanor Bergstein. She's the writer, and it's based a lot on her true experiences of, you know, going up to camps and doing dance lessons in the summer and stuff. And she wrote this movie and the screenplay, and she linked up with this producer named Linda Gottlieb, and the two of them together were pitching this movie. So they were these two women pitching this movie that was for, like, it's, you know, it's a story for girls. It's a story about a girl, and it's about dancing. And so a lot of studios were not really interested in that because it was very much, you know,
it's a girl movie.
The time of like Star Wars and stuff. And it just wasn't, they're like, this doesn't seem exciting.
It's the 80s. Like, it's not what you,
They didn't think it was exciting. And so by the time, you know, they pitched it, and at one point Clearasil, like the skincare company, was going to give them some money to sponsor it, but then they were like, wait, we want the abortion stuff cut. So like even Clearasil was like not into it, and then eventually they found, you know, someone to make it, but the budget was $4.5 million, which was really pretty low for the time, but it made $214 million. So that's fucking shit on that budget.
Oh my god, that's basically a 200%. That's nuts.
Everyone who said no and said you have to cut the abortion storyline,
wrong.
Like, so wrong, because this is like a classic.
Abortions are fucking awesome,
right? Or at least just like talk about real stuff in your movies. Don't have to. Censorship is bad. We can deal with issues in art. That's what it's there for.
Literally, exactly. Art should be progressive. Please stop putting out slop.
Nobody puts Jen in a corner unless I'm backing her into a corner to make a decision between what she likes more, chocolate or vanilla. It's her interim podcast segment where she says two things, and we all just say which one we like better. And there's not really too much backing into corners here, other than when I get to go, I always go first. This is Dara speaking. The order always goes Dara, Emily, Jen. And sometimes I feel like I set a precedent on an answer that it's like, means that anyone who answers differently after me is getting shamed.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I stand my ground
on occasion, but I feel like we every now and then,
I do stay back and y'all into corners on occasion, and Patrick Swayze is not here to save you.
We'll say no, but you'll tell us that we're wrong.
Right. And Jen, so hi, how are you this week?
I am good this week. So,
anything new going on with you?
Well, last week we had a hospital inspection, and we did very well, but it was so stressful.
I can imagine.
Inspectors are stressful people.
Yeah.
Like that one episode of SpongeBob.
Yep, the health inspector.
That was my life last week.
Oof. Yeah, that's hell.
That's rough.
Is there a theme this week?
No theme, off the dome.
Hell yeah. And I did want to ask, as somebody who was alive in 1987 when this movie came out, it was like the biggest thing in the world, right?
Yeah, it was the movie. It was like, it was the thing. Yeah.
Did you see it in the theaters when it came out, or did you like rent it, or?
I'm sure I did both. We at the time we were the proud owners of a videotape player with the video cassettes. Right, you pop it in, push it down. And I worked at a package store that had a also rented videos. So when the good ones came back, Dara, you know this from the library. So the good one comes back, and you just like keep it for yourself.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, yes.
So I probably did that with Dirty Dancing.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was a freshman in college when this came out.
For those who don't live in New England, a package store is a liquor store.
Yes.
We call them the package store here.
The packy,
if you will. But yeah, Jen worked at a liquor store that also does DVD, or not DVD, I mean tape rentals.
That's pretty solid.
Do you think they still did it with DVDs when that came around?
I don't know. It was gone by then.
Like a dual, like get my wine and my Blockbuster.
Hell yeah.
That would have been nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
We did a lot of business.
That's date night, babe. Like,
easily.
One-stop shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
I'll go chocolate this week.
Crazy.
I'll go
it's an indulgent week.
I'm drinking my hot chocolate. Indulgent week. You're so funny. All right. First one, watermelon or peaches?
Watermelon. Watermelon. These are two flavors that the artificial versions of them.
Both pretty rough.
Both not great. Like, I think you said watermelon and peaches, and my sick personality immediately was like, okay, the high noon flavors. Like, I'm equating what are the two high noon? Which high noon
I would still go for the watermelon.
I think I would go for the watermelon. I hate the artificial peach. I don't like peach rings.
Peach is
like
bad.
The classic, Hasbro? No, Haribo peach rings. I don't really fuck with that. Artificial peach. It's like
not ideal.
Not for me. But I'll pick watermelon in general.
Yeah, I'll go watermelon because I was thinking of the actual fruit, and I think I don't like having to eat around the peach pit. It's like fine.
I think I like peaches when they're like baked into something.
Yeah,
but I don't want to.
Yeah, but like some fresh watermelon like on the beach. Oh, nice. Nothing better.
The peach pit bothers you more than the watermelon seeds?
Yeah, I'll spit those right out.
All right. I will go with watermelon also. Although a couple weeks ago we were down the Cape and I got a salad that had peaches, arugula, pine nuts, heirloom tomatoes, and burrata.
Oh, that does sound good. I will admit that sounds really good.
It was really good. I'm still talking about it 2 weeks later. Okay, next one. Speaking of artificial flavors, orange soda, grape soda, root beer. Oh, chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate.
Double chocolate sweet. Orange soda, grape soda, root beer.
I'll go orange soda. I love a Fanta. That's why if the slushy machine is broken at the movie theaters, I'll go for a large orange soda. Orange soda is also one that I find pairs really good with like really greasy pizza. Like I want greasy pizza and an orange soda. I don't like Coke or like brown like cola soda products.
Sure.
Pardon me. You know, ginger ale or Sprite, and then when I'm feeling crazy, I'll have an orange soda. Grape, no, and root beer is just not for me.
I'm root beer all the way, day one, like, with a burger at the movies, in a float, every time.
Oh, you like it with the ice cream?
Love a root beer float. Oh my God, yeah. Something really, again, luxurious about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go orange soda of these three. Next one, veggie pizza or meat lovers pizza?
We did have somewhat of a meat lovers pizza while we
really
watched this movie tonight. I used just several different kinds of cured meats. I was gonna put bacon on it, and then Henry said, "Dara, that's a hat on a hat." And I was like, "You're right. I'm already putting 3 different kinds of salami on here."
I wouldn't have said no, though. You know,
right? But I am known to just like pile whatever meat I've got in the fridge on a pizza,
and that's the right thing to do because that pizza was really solid. And I am not like a big pepperoni, cured meats on the pizza guy, but you got it like perfectly crispy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
because very impressive.
You put it on the top, so it gets nice and charred.
Yeah. So I'll go meat lovers tonight.
Ooh, I'm gonna go veggie pizza. ABBA or the Beatles?
Fuck,
ABBA.
This is really hard, Jen.
No, you love the Beatles.
I know. I was in my garden today, though, literally in bliss, planting fucking tomatoes to ABBA. So, yeah, I can't deny the Beatles, though. I'm a Beatles girl through and through, of course.
Yeah. And see, yesterday I was out shopping, and they must have been playing, like, Best of ABBA, like, one after the other. And then today...
just banger.
I was working in the gym area and they had the Beatles going, so both were solid. I'm gonna go Beatles. Next one, coffee or tea?
Coffee,
easy.
Oh yeah, coffee every time. Next one, Sweet Caroline, Shipping Off to Boston, or Love That Dirty Water?
I feel like shipping off to Boston is very, where we're from, Dropkick Murphys.
Of course.
And that's one that, like, it's basically designed so that you can be the drunkest person who's ever entered Fenway Stadium and you can still sing along.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you just have to, like, sort of grunt at the right times. And I think that's, like, the perfect, recipe for a stadium cheer.
The perfect recipe is, oh.
Yeah, I gotta go with Jen on this one. I'm a Sweet Caroline fan. Last year I went to my first Red Sox game in a very long time, and being from Massachusetts, it does feel very like nostalgic, sort of. So I'll go Sweet Caroline. It did make my heart grow three sizes.
Did you have a hot dog? I feel like that's the only reason I would
a hot dog and a beer. Yes.
Go to the. People do the thing, right, where they have like 9 hot dogs and 9 beers.
Yeah, it's like the not. Yeah,
that's
it's like
ridiculous.
the 9
per inning. No, that's too much.
Yeah. We could just enjoy things. It's okay.
Take it easy.
If you went to the stands every inning, you would see none of the game. Because you miss an inning when you go to the stands.
I think usually they'll get like 2.
Batches. Yeah. And there's the guys who come around, I feel, true. Right? Hot dog. Do you ever practice?
Hot dog. Get your hot dog.
Get your hot doggy. Like, what would your... like, they're hot and they're dogs and we've got them. Like, what would I say?
Raw dog them.
What would my tagline be? Because I would get competitive. I'd want to sell more hot dogs.
Hot dog.
You gotta throw them across to the people.
Yeah.
I'd start like a fake rivalry with my other hot dog guy so that we could like do banter.
And then it would eventually get to real rivalry.
Right, but then maybe like love.
Exactly, yeah.
Enemies to lovers hot dog salesman.
Okay, you gotta write this now.
Okay. Open casting call.
What about you, Jen?
I'm gonna go Sweet Caroline, definitely. Okay, next one. When people think you're older than your age, or when people think you're younger than your age.
Oh, like which do I prefer? I guess older, because then I'm like, to me that signals that you thought I was behaving competently.
Yeah,
like that's like, you know. Yeah. At the age of 26, I don't get offended if people think I'm like 30, because I'm like, oh, that means I was behaving like an adult. Where if somebody was like, oh, I thought you were so much younger, I'm like, oh, so you thought I was acting stupid?
Yeah, I guess I'll go older, I suppose.
Because I care less about the, like, you know, oh, you thought I looked so young. Ooh. Except people do call me young lady all the time at the library. Thank you, young lady. And I'm like, don't say that to me. I deal with a lot of old people, though. It's very common. Yeah. They love gendered language. Like, they want to be called ma'am so bad.
Trust me. I pick and choose who I ma'am at work.
You know, you should put the D back in. Call him madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Madam.
So you know I'm going to want people to think I'm younger than I am. Of course. Next one. Original or remake?
Original.
Original.
Duh.
Yeah, original, of course. And of course you saw the remake for Dirty Dancing, right?
No.
You know of it, right?
No.
What? It was like in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Like 2004.
Good God.
Was it a remake or was it a sequel?
2017. Holy shit.
2017.
Holy shit. Is that fucking
Abigail Breslin.
Sarah Hyland as her sister.
Interesting. Is this what you're thinking of? The 2017 one, Jen? Or are you thinking of...
Nicole Scherzinger plays fucking Penny.
Oh, wait, no. That's not the one I was thinking of.
Is this like a live action movie or something?
Yeah, maybe it was.
Or a musical.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't.
The one I'm thinking of was called Dirty Dancing.
2004.
Havana Nights. Yeah.
Havana Nights. Dirty Dancing. Havana Nights. Okay.
Diego Luna.
Wait,
Patrick Swayze's in it?
Yes.
That's wild. And what's
no fucking way.
And you saw this movie? What was it about?
Yeah, of course I saw it. I don't remember. I just remember
Okay, let me give it. I got the synopsis. American high school student Katie moves in with her wealthy parents to Cuba in 1958. She encounters Javier, played by Diego Luna, a poor local who works as a waiter, and soon a relationship blossoms between them at a nightclub. Javier teaches Katie the nuances of Cuban dance, which becomes her passion. As the young lover grows, Fidel Castro suddenly rises to power. When her parents decide to flee to the United States, Katie must make a difficult choice.
And who's Patrick Swayze in this, though? Because
it's got to be like a cameo.
Yeah, because if it's canonically taking place in the 50s, then it takes place before Dirty Dancing. Yes. So we can't time travel Johnny Castle into being...
I think he plays him. Yeah, he plays Johnny Castle.
I'm so confused.
No, because
because it does say he plays Johnny Castle.
Johnny Castle in 1958 was canonically like 12 years old or some shit. What's 63? If he was 25 in 1963, how old would he have been in what'd you say, 58?
Yeah, 58.
20. He's 20 in Havana in 2004. Patrick Swayze? No way.
Hold on.
That's ridiculous. He is credited as being his same character. Yeah. Who's to say how they make that work?
Oh, I know. That's something. That's something. Who's to say? Shit, no, I didn't know about this, Jen. That's crazy. I think maybe I'll go home and watch that after this.
You should watch it. It's worth the watch. I'm going to say that.
Is it bad? I have to assume it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, so yeah okay.
But you have to, if you love Dirty Dancing, you got to watch it.
Okay, what were my options? What was the question?
Oh, originals and remakes. So
okay, yeah. Okay, we got that.
Next one. Those candy necklaces where you eat off the necklace, or a ring pop.
Ring pop?
Ring pop.
I have a ring pop over that I've been saving, actually.
Love a ring pop.
I have a watermelon flavored ring pop that
watermelon hater.
Yeah. I'll still eat it, though.
Sure.
Candies can't. Sometimes when
not the high noon in the fridge, though.
Not the high noon in the fridge. There is a watermelon high noon in my fridge that has been there it's been fermenting. It's like a sort of particular kombucha.
Your science experiment.
It's my experiment. It's been there for like maybe 2 years, just because it came in a variety pack. And the variety pack did come with 2, which means I did drink one of them. But then I decided you weren't so disgusted by the second one that I was like, I'm not drinking that.
I couldn't possibly.
But for some reason, I won't throw it away either. I'm like kind of emotionally attached to it now, too.
You're like, when you're having your hardest day.
Right. Yeah. But then I'm going to instead turn to my ring pop that I've put aside.
There you go.
So I'll go the ring pop. Yeah, the candy on the candy necklace. Candy necklace is like cunty because you wear it and it's like, ooh.
But then I just drool.
My necklace is not real.
But then you drool all over it trying to...
And it doesn't even taste it. They're like Smarties. They're not even good.
I like Smarties better than those.
That's true. Smarties are at least like tart.
Yeah, I'm going ring pop on this one too. What about you, Jen?
Yeah, I'll go ring pop for this week. Next one is movie soundtrack or movie score.
Ooh, I guess, like, which one really makes it for me? I guess a soundtrack. I guess like a movie with just like a banger soundtrack. I don't know. Can really can reshape my life.
Absolutely.
I recently watched a movie about like 80s, in the 80s and like new wave and like synth pop. And that has been like my whole personality since I watched that movie. Because I was just like, wait, I forgot about Duran Duran. Like, wait, Duran Duran exists. So I feel like a really striking soundtrack can be very effective.
I mean, like, it's not easier to write a score, but it's easy, like, to capture the emotion you want. I think, like, being able to, like, just create it obviously lends itself like to in a certain way an easier time. It's more work, but you get like exactly what you pictured. But I think with a soundtrack, it's very much like you can come across a song that you wouldn't have never thought to put over like a particular scene, and it works so fucking well. And it's just,
and blending what's already popular to then, enhance your movie. And like, oh, people are going to like that because everyone loves Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. Obviously. So like, let's put that over the dopest part. Exactly. Fucking duh.
Yeah. But just all the fucking Otis Redding in this movie. Oh, divine.
I'm going to go with soundtrack. I'm a big soundtrack fan. Mm-hmm. Next one is hiking or swimming.
Hiking. I'm not a super proficient swimmer. I can like not drown, but hardly. And I really struggle with treading water, like staying still and like feeling relaxed in the water. I feel very like I'm trying to get to the edge. Like I'm trying to get to where I'm going so that I can stop swimming.
Sure.
Is more, my vibe. But I love a hike. Never alone, though.
No, not in the
I'm not trying to get nabbed in the woods. Yeah.
I'm gonna go swim. I'm a big water girl. I love to float out in the ocean. I feel like that's the most peaceful I can get in my life. So I'll go swim.
I will go hiking. I would hike over swim. Next one is watching the sunset on the beach or watching the sunrise on the beach.
Well, that's like an East Coast. I mean, in America, it's like an East Coast, West Coast situation, right? Which beach are you on? Because you can't watch the sun. You can watch the sun set on the beach on the East Coast, but it's not like setting over the water.
No.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like what's happening over the water. So I guess it's the sunset because I'm not trying to wake up at the ass crack of fucking dawn. I've woken up to try to catch the sunrise on the beach over here. And it's like, okay, there it is.
Can we go back to bed?
I'm over this. But having the sun set over the ocean every day, no wonder they're also like chill out in California. I'd be like, it's gorgeous.
I'll go sunrise, honestly. I do think there is something that's there's something rewarding about waking up at 5 a.m. already, and then something even more rewarding about getting to see the sunrise at the same time. So I'll go rise.
Yeah, I guess I would like either of these, but I'm also going to go sunrise. Last summer, I was up and took pictures of like the sun coming up, and then right when it came over the water, it was really nice.
Oh, I'm sure.
Nice little time lapse. Mm-hmm. We love a time lapse.
Next one, last one. 70s music or 80s music?
Oh, that is actually, so I've been like transitioning because I'm a big 70s girl, and I think I will still say 70s on the whole, as it is my preferred genre. Or like
I like
preferred
the 80s synth
for a decade, but I've been listening to a ton of. I've been having an 80s kind of themed summer. I mean, I'm trying
to Patrick Swayze summer.
I'm trying to manifest for this summer the vibes, and you got to start curating them as soon as it hits 70 degrees.
Yeah.
65
even.
As soon as you start unthawing, you have to pick what kind of you have to manifest what kind of summer you're gonna have. And so I've been having like an 80s synthy summer. So for this summer, it's 80s, but on the whole in my life, I'm a 70s ass bitch.
I'll have to go 70s here too, because what I like from the 80s I like, but there's a lot from the 80s that I don't like, and I'll tell you what, a fucking power ballad is one of them. Get that shit out of my face. I'm good. What about you, Jen?
I'm gonna go 80s, and Darren, I'm excited to spend 80s synth summer with you because that's my jam. Gary and I have an ongoing argument right now. Best year ever for music. He says 76. I say 84.
Okay.
76 or 84. If anyone has any thoughts, the best year for music.
I wasn't alive, so I couldn't say.
Yeah, for either of those. I mean, I guess, no, you can still make an argument during times you weren't alive. You can still examine. I feel like I need
to do my research
you could still examine, you know, what's out there.
Jen, I want you and Gary to make your tier lists, like top 10 songs from each year. And then you can really...
Yeah, make some... let's get some playlists going for you to share so that I can participate in this argument. What did you say, 84? Make me an 84 playlist.
Yeah.
I'll send you his 76 and my 84, and you can decide.
Fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
We'll put him on the swamp.
Oh, nice.
What do I think is the best year for music? Like 2012? No.
Probably. Something like that.
Yeah, I'd have to sit on that. But you always make the argument, Jen, that you think the best year for music is whenever you were in middle school. Yes. Like as an individual.
Which would be like, I say 84, but I was like a junior in high school in 84. So
that's still raised.
Yeah.
But I do think that the music from when you're in 7th and 8th grade hits for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kesha? Oh, I'll never say no to her.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Jen, as always, for not backing us into any corners, but giving us the freedom of choice and the freedom to express those choices loudly.
Pro-choice on this podcast.
Yeah, this is a very pro-choice podcast. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye.
Love you. Bye, Jen.
Okay, I had a question for you.
Oh, please.
Did you ever go to summer camp?
We went to, you and I know we both went to Camp Borndale, which I don't know for any Massachusetts folks. Maybe you guys went as well. But so we did sleepaway camp like that. I didn't do anything other than that though.
You didn't have a romance there.
No.
Maybe you had a crush on someone from afar.
I think I did start dating someone while I was there, and then it lasted maybe 2 weeks after that sort of thing. But it was the 6th grade.
But in 6th grade, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a long-term relationship, honestly.
Yeah, no.
So,
for a 6th
what about you? What about you?
Of course, I just asked you because I wanted to talk about that. I went summer camp.
Yeah.
So any movie that's about the camp, I don't know, because we were do people do this? And I was like, wait, this is a rich person thing. I was like, this movie's literally about rich people. That's why it's not relatable to us. You were do people go away for the summer anymore? And I'm like, yeah, they're just rich. They're just not us. But,
yeah.
Think White Lotus.
Of course,
but
yeah.
I guess 3 weeks was a decent time for a vacation. But I feel to go summer in Martha's Vineyard or something, to me, if you're I'm summering on the Cape, that implies to me that you're staying there for the 3 months of summer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I went to summer camp. It was at a college, and it was the summers before 9th and 10th grade. So I was 13 and 14.
That is a time.
Yeah.
You're starting to like tell yourself that you're a real grown up.
Yeah, well, because you're like just kind of like through the worst part of puberty.
Yeah,
and so you can like sort of like start to figure your shit.
You have a real bra now, so it's a big fucking deal.
But I lived at a college for 6 weeks, and they had these like pseudo, classes and programs and stuff, and it was all like, under the guise of being academic, but it was still very like fun and I don't know, not that serious.
Sure.
But there was no like archery. There was no like camp stuff about it. Yeah. It was like we were in college dorms. It was more
wigs
energy. No, wait, there were talent shows though, and dances.
That sounds about right. I'm sure.
Very that. It was very much like a cult. Like you just indoctrinate yourself at the beginning of 6 weeks to this cult.
Well, yes,
and you just subscribe to the rules and the laws of it socially. And by the end, they're like, we have this designated time for you to cry about how much you're gonna miss everyone. And it's like, yeah, they had like a dance called the Weeper, and it was like everyone gets together and like exchanges personal tokens of gratitude about the summer. Everyone cries about how much they're gonna miss each other.
It's so earnest, which you're also 13, 14.
You're 13, yeah. It's like so earnest. It's like,
that's the time.
You think you're like, that's stupid, I'm not gonna do that, and then you get there and you cry and you make friendship, you give people friendship bracelets and shit. Yeah, like really earnest.
Oof.
But if you had to participate in like a camp talent show.
Well, I did perform in a camp talent show at Camp Borndale.
You did? Wait,
yes,
you did.
Yeah.
Wait, you got Blue Man Group on.
I Blue Man Grouped.
I Stomp Out Loud?
Basically. Yeah. So I found some like buckets and I drummed on them.
Bucket drumming.
I did.
Because you had your sticks with you?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, this was a plan. I knew I was going away and I knew there was a talent show.
Hell yeah.
And I was pushed to perform and I said, you know what?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I will. And I walked into middle school the next year like I was the shit.
I love it. Yeah. Right. Oh, because this was also like before.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would not know what to do. If I had to be in a talent show, I would have no fucking clue. I don't like being on stage.
Doing looms.
Braiding. What?
I don't know.
That's the first thing. What is Derek capable of doing on stage? Braids.
I don't know.
To a braid.
What else do you? What else do I do? What have you got?
What else do I have? Honestly, I mean, you got me a puppet, so I feel like I could do some puppetry, but that's really relying on a prop. Mm-hmm. But I think I'd have to. I don't really have any skills. I can solve a Rubik's cube. I could do that.
That is very 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we talking about in today's day and age, or are we talking about if you were
in my life? But I mean,
if you were in
today.
Okay.
I mean today as well. Though, what would I do? I don't know.
I feel like I would still drum, even though I haven't touched a drum set in probably 5 years. So
I can like do all the states in order.
Oh, that's a good one.
Maybe I could do that while I tap dance. That's something.
A good one. I think I would just go on stage and I would get a microphone and I would hold it up to the lower back of my spine and just crack it into a microphone and make everyone jealous of me and then walk off.
What's like those people who have like hyperextension in their shoulders and can like pop them out of the sockets? And they're always like outside in Faneuil Hall like break dancing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can pull some of that, right?
Sure.
But it's just like your old creaky bones.
Yeah, it's just the fact that I can't kick above my leg or above my head.
Hey, it's important to wiggle. It's important to stretch and wiggle and move your body. Hey, if you're right now, how's your posture? Let's check in.
Yeah.
There should be a balloon. Imagine that there's a string coming out of the back of your head and there's a balloon attached to that string. Where is it? Mm-hmm. It should be up. Yeah. Like, right? It's pulling you up. Let's fix our postures, girlies. Mm-hmm. That's part of Patrick Swayze's summer.
Of course.
Is standing with excellent
good posture. Oh my God. I forgot until I just looked at my notes though. Speaking of my drumming, this was the movie that like I first learned how to drum to the song Wipeout because I heard this song on this movie and I said, well, yes, that seems easy enough. And that was the first song I ever learned how to play on the drums.
Oh my God, that's so cute. How old were you?
Probably around that age, like 12.
Yeah, because I was going to say, when did your mom, because I'm going to assume your mom showed you this movie.
I've watched this movie since I was probably like 6 years old.
Yeah, like just like on.
Like I couldn't tell you when I first saw this, but yeah, so... I've always known this movie and I think that's part of the thing that like why I love it. Like I don't think it's as good as obviously my brain interprets it.
No,
but I think it's a lot of girls with white moms.
Yeah,
know and love this movie.
With moms who grew up in the 80s.
Exactly. It's the same way with like it's the same thing that I feel for the Sound of Music.
Oh yeah, or Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. Yeah. It's really one or the other. Yeah. Or Duran Duran. But yeah, no. So this movie did give me that, and I mean, I do love that fucking montage of her dancing down the steps in her teeny tiny little bodysuit and her perfect little jean shorts.
Just like we were both just marveling at the way clothes fit both Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze.
It's a gender
are impeccable, but just the way they got clothes to just fit those people. So I mean, they're also like both beautiful and toned.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
Like
it is a gender envy summer. Yeah, but like it's also the fact that like Patrick Swayze, of course, he dances beautifully. His mother was like, for backstory, for your IMDb fun facts for the night, is Patrick Swayze's mother was a dance instructor, so he grew up dancing his whole life. So this is like bish bash bosh, like nothing to him.
I'm sure why he got the role to begin with.
So,
which this is what really launched his career. You did note that we sort of did everything backwards because it came this and then Roadhouse and then Ghost, which is reverse of how we've been covering them.
So if we go Red Dawn, I mean,
so it's sort of interesting to see sort of Swayze in reverse because he is. You can see the evolution of Johnny Castle to Dalton.
Absolutely.
Because I'm like seeing little moments of like Daltonage, right? Where it's like he's dancing and somebody's pointing and they're like, hey, do you know who that guy is? And it's like his cousin.
That's Johnny Castle.
What's his
Billy?
Cousin? Billy. His cousin Billy comes over. He's like introducing him from afar. I'm like, oh, that's literally from Roadhouse. Like, hey, you see that guy over there? That's Dalton. Hey, that's fucking Patrick Swayze. They're always like, hey, do you see that guy over there? Don't be alarmed. That's the coolest guy who's ever, like, no man has ever alphaed as hard as Patrick Swayze. So if you just catch some of those.
It's the tight pants, man. It was the really tight pants in this one. Good butt. He's thrusting at the camera. Yeah, it's undeniable. Like it is dirty dancing at the end of the day.
We're getting a camera angle up on the taint. Like,
exactly what I want. It's exactly what I want. Yeah, we should note that at least Johnny is supposed to be 25 and Baby is 17 in this movie, which is not
questionable.
Not as palatable as I would like, but considering that this was 1987 and
1963,
exactly.
So sometimes, in the age gap discourse,
that could be much worse.
I don't know if I'm too old of a Gen Z to understand, but everyone on my Twitter feed is always like accusing younger Gen Z people of being like really sex averse. I guess a lot of Gen Z people really are commenting on like problematic age gaps, but being like, if she's 19 and he's 23, that's problematic. Like really speculating on like really minor age gaps that like maybe if the people in that situation are shitty
or problematic,
then it's because if
they have a problem. Yes, if they have a problematic relationship, but like I think a 4-year like
if a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old are dating, that's probably fine. It's probably fine if the people in it aren't shitty. But I've been seeing
I can understand if like a 27-year-old is dating an 18-year-old. That's nasty.
Shitty, yeah.
But like at the same time, like I think we are at this turning point of like at least being like 25 plus. Like a lot of women that I know are dating older men because they don't want to date men their own age because men their own age are nasty and just immature and gross, and they want a mommy instead of a girlfriend. Whereas older men, I think, have at least grown up enough to not need that, at least to as much of a degree as younger men. So it's really like there obviously like there are problematic age gaps, but at the same time, it's like where do you?
Yeah, it seems like it's getting to a point where some younger people are like trying to establish like that if you date anyone who's not basically your age, like that's fucked.
Yeah,
which is not the case. It's really actually good to talk to people who are not your age.
Yeah, it's
like,
also just
not
good.
necessarily romantically, but just
no,
in
but it's
general,
also just
like,
good to talk to people in general.
Right.
Which I think is a lot like this movie covers that a lot. Like the difference of like obviously Baby and Johnny are from totally different worlds. You know what I mean?
She is established as being pretty open-minded because she says she wants to join the Peace Corps and that she wants to go to school for economics of like underdeveloped countries.
Yes.
So we immediately get her as this sort of lib character. She's a little bit more lib, and then
baby is our woke queen,
and she's talking to. She gets paired up with this like lame guy,
Neil, the son of the nephew of the hotel owner. So Neil is basically going to inherit these hotels.
And he's like, oh, me and my friends are going to like some of the like protests.
We're going freedom riding.
Yeah, freedom riding.
He's trying to get brownie points with baby.
Right, but it is like, I like that we sort of get established at the beginning that she is willing to, you know, have progressive ideas and think beyond her class.
Yeah. Which is the first time that you can really see that she's interacting outside of it. You know, because it is the whole thing of like, she does get to run to her daddy and ask for money.
Right.
While these guys are trying to scrape up $250 and they can't even do that,
and
which...
the whole point of the movie is that this is so, like, foreign to her, that the dancing and stuff is so, like, different.
Yeah.
And unlike... They show her sister, too, at the end, right? And she doesn't know how to dance either.
Sure,
and it's like that they're from this stiff... proper background, and that this is something that is like so wildly different. Ooh, oh my god, she doesn't even know how to wiggle her hips. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, not only of course the soundtrack is like world renowned.
S-tier.
It is one of the best. Yeah, S-tier soundtrack, of course.
Even the song Swayze does, pretty solid.
She's Like the Wind, not bad. And I like I said, I don't love a power ballad, but I can deal with it.
I can deal with it when it's Swayze.
Of course.
It's like while he's in a field of wheat, and there's like wind blowing.
Exactly. She's like the wind, of course. But what was it? I loved the wardrobe. The costume design of this was fabulous. There was a really great top that you mentioned. It was like the perfect cut off tank basically that baby had.
It just fit her body so
which is
nice.
just they just don't make that shit with Temu these days. And it's a shame.
You mentioned like the fabrics, like something being on the ground after they fucked, and then he picks up his shirt and then it's
not
like,
a single wrinkle.
Yeah, not wrinkled. It's because it was like nice linen. But he was always in like black and tank tops, which
all tank tops.
That resonates with
just
me.
wife pleasers, yeah. No, I loved it. But also, yeah, the fishnets, the tiny little booty shorts that they're in. Also, I want every man who's complaining about women being close to naked in the gym to shut the fuck up. You are always naked in the gym. You get to have your shirt off. You can wear the tiniest fucking pants you want. And you wouldn't last a fucking minute in the Pilates studio in the 80s, bitch. They were wearing leotards.
Yeah, real.
You don't stand a chance. Fuck off. Go jerk it at home and do some push-ups and cry. I can't deal with it.
Also, this is nothing new. Yeah, in the 80s, they used to wear those little onesie bodysuits.
A unitard, a leotard.
And like leg warmers. That's what, it's workout gear.
Yeah, dog.
Grow up.
The whole thing is to try and wick sweat off of your body. Yeah. If a girl wants to wear her fucking Lulus just skin tight, you can deal with it. I promise. It's called having self-fucking control.
Yeah, guys are just mad because they're like, oh, I have a boner now. I'm pissed.
If I saw Patrick Swayze in the gym, of course I would stare.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because...
What else would I do? But I would be respectful.
I would say, it's Patrick Swayze, you've been dead for 10 years. Patrick Swayze, what are you
doing here, Patrick Swayze?
Do we want to get into our regularly scheduled
Well, we might as well, really. Yeah, I mean, fuck, marry, kill is really...
Johnny, baby, who's the third one?
Penny?
Or, who's his cousin?
Billy? No, I'd say Penny, probably.
Penny? Okay. Well, I'll still kill her, because... This is really, you know...
It's a Johnny baby.
It's a Johnny baby situation, and I think I'm going to marry a baby for her money.
Of course, yeah. Do you think she'll make money? She's in the Peace Corps.
Well, we'll figure something out.
Okay, sure. And then you're gonna fuck Patrick.
Johnny, yeah.
I'm gonna do the inverse. I'm gonna fuck baby. I want that Patrick Swayze every day, every single day.
Yeah.
I'll kill Penny.
Except
course.
I feel like he's gonna want to like run laps in the morning or something.
I'll do for him. I'll do it. For him, I'll do it.
He's gonna want to do Tai Chi by the river.
No, because it's gonna be so sexy and it's gonna be worth it, and I'm never gonna feel better in my life.
That's true. Personal trainer. I was saying I need like personal trainer Patrick Swayze, like constantly like behind me, hyping me up, telling me to like stand up straighter.
Absolutely, exactly. Yes. And then we get to dance. He has to teach me how to dance. I feel like you and I were at a concert recently, and you looked at me and you said, "I won't drink typically, but I have to drink
to dance,"
which is fair and true.
Publicly, if I'm going to dance in public in front of a bunch of strangers, and really like don't do it without feeling self-conscious, I need 2 gin and tonics. That's the rule. I'm sorry.
I would love to be able to jump over that hurdle.
Right? Yeah. So, doing it sober. I'm sure we can get there, but
you need Patrick Swayze.
My neck and back hurt though, man. We were thrashing around.
Absolutely. I'm still sore. I don't know about you.
Like, don't do that. I don't leave the house.
Yeah. But out of the whole movie, you called out Tito, the band leader. Hell yeah, he's at least 82 years old.
Yeah, he's so swag.
But he's the flyest little black man you've ever seen in your life.
Right, and he's just
skinny as a bone, but he's jazzing it up.
He's up there like putting on a show, and he's in a couple of scenes, but he like doesn't really have many lines.
No,
he's just sort of like there.
He's just there to tap dance with like a lot of swag.
The tap dancing and just the vibes that he curates are
exceptional.
Impeccable.
Yeah, exceptional.
Yeah, we're shouting out Tito, but from the whole movie, I guess I'll kill that guy who got her pregnant, I guess, because he is ultimately
not Billy.
Robbie. I guess he is ultimately the antagonist of the film. And it's like super easy to just like not be that big of a piece of shit about it.
Just pay for a girl's abortion.
Or even like be emotionally available.
Of course. Yeah.
Or like just like not a dick about it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll kill him. I'll marry is in the group dance number behind Patrick Swayze on his right.
Oh my god, this fucking
with this fabulous diva.
She
had this like cunty little short haircut, and she was just like really giving it her all.
It was her moment,
in the group
and she
number,
took it.
And like she was, my eyes were on her, and that's tough when Swayze is in the picture.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm gonna marry her. She gets my MVP point. What about you?
I'm gonna. Ooh, it is tough. I'm still gonna marry the Swayze. I'm gonna fuck Penny. I mean, if we could really get that trio together, that would be something. And then I'm gonna kill Lisa every fucking time.
Is that her sister?
Yes, I hate Lisa. God. I have hated Lisa.
And her sperm eyebrows.
I hate Lisa so bad, dude. Yeah.
And her hula dance, her culturally appropriate hula
not for
dance.
me. No, Lisa can fucking shove it. I hate that dumb bitch.
That is true. Lisa plays such a weird role in this movie where she's like absent.
She sucks 99% of the time, but the one time she's like, baby, I'll do your hair.
Right.
And that's it.
Like, I guess.
I'm like, sure. No, I fucking hate Lisa. But what are you eating and drinking with this?
Eating and drinking, I was inspired by Tito, by our man Tito.
Of course.
And I think you have to drink some Tito's.
Yep.
So the brand Tito's of vodka, but then I was like, what could go with this? Watermelons. It's a watermelon film. So I think you make like a watermelon, like you get the watermelon juice from the fucking juice section, like the Simply Lemonade brand, whatever, watermelon.
Yeah.
And then you freeze some watermelon ice cubes.
Ooh.
So you have the frozen watermelon cubes as your ice, and then lime juice and vodka.
That sounds sounds good to me.
It's so refreshing. And then I think you get an Outshine popsicle. It could be any popsicle.
Oh,
but Outshine is the best
watermelon,
brand. And you can get the watermelon ones are good, but also like the coconut one, the pineapple one. I bet any really fruit flavor one would be good. And my favorite thing to do is dip my popsicle in my cocktail. So you have like a popsicle cocktail situation.
That's really good.
Because I feel like this is a very summer movie. I want to be
absolutely
almost like I want to be outside watching this like being projected onto a big screen or something.
Of course.
At summer camp, at the camp.
Yeah.
At the lake.
And what do you eat?
The popsicle.
Oh, okay. It's a 2-in-1.
It's a 2-in-1.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
My other answer was like s'mores. I was trying to think of like what's like a quintessential like summer thing.
Sure.
But where I went to camp, so we like ate the just like whatever Sodexo like dining hall food because they just ran the dining hall through the summer as well because for other reasons
might as well
too. But the big meal that they would have sometimes were chicken fritters which is just like chicken nuggets, but it's like a little nugget. It's like popcorn chicken.
Sure,
It's actually basically just popcorn chicken, but we called them chicken fritters.
Yeah.
And that was like when it was chicken fritter day, it was a big deal.
Okay.
And
I respect that.
Summer camp is also the reason why I had to stop drinking soda. I used to drink brown soda, and I used to drink all soda. And I used to mix all of them together like a freak and shit, and I would drink soda. And I was drinking so much soda every day because it was available to me, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this dining hall. And I was a 13-year-old with unrestricted access. So I was drinking so much soda, and I felt like shit, and my skin got awful. And I was like, I need to stop. So I hard cut myself off.
Wow, good for you.
While I was there, and I was like, I need to not ever drink soda, and now I really don't a lot.
Good for you.
Just because I really overdid it.
I can imagine.
Chicken fritters, an infinite soda.
That'll make you learn your lesson quick.
When you're trying to be a quirky girl in front of a bunch of boys you like, and you're like, I do one hit from every different soda machine, and that's what I like to drink.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Because I'm so whimsical.
I think you're allowed to be cringe at 14, though, so.
Because I was courting several summer romances.
Of course, as one does.
That I remember as being such, but actually probably those boys are probably who was that girl? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I was looking into really 60s recipes for this, and
just like Jell-O molds.
They were all horrific, as you can imagine. But I think the 60s was a big time for when you would get like mixes of things. So I think a Betty Crocker, you find your best Betty Crocker in the store, and you make a cake mix.
I like a boxed cake mix.
you go boxed cake mix on this and all, but I will say the 60s were pretty good for cocktails, and the Mai Tai was was having a moment in the 60s. So I'll go Mai Tai, because you want something boozy for this. I will admit.
A boxed cake.
I want you to get feral with your girlfriends, watching Patrick Swayze sweat on your screen.
Yeah, I like barking.
And you guys can barking, and then you can eat cake with your hands. I think it's the right thing to do.
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh shit, what are you following this up with?
High School Musical 2.
Of course. Duh. I was gonna say Mamma Mia. That was just the thing that popped to my head. I just want something that also feels homey to me. Yeah, which I guess High School Musical 2 does.
Agreed. Yeah, that. I mean, I'm thinking like, what other dances have that much sexual tension? And
Lay All Your Love on Me.
I Don't Dance.
Also that.
Chad and Ryan.
That's an excellent pick. Yeah. And what would you rate this movie? Has your score improved, or?
I think it's like a 7. It's like a classic. It's a classic for a reason.
I'll take a 7.
I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Is it ever on? No. Like, for me, I'm not putting this on like you are.
Okay. It's on, I was going to say, it's on TV. No, like trust me.
No, for me, like the nostalgia is not the call. I'm not like, I need to put Dirty Dancing back on.
Sure.
But this is one that, and when people say they really like this one, I'm like, that holds up.
Yeah. Oh. So. Word. I'll take that.
And the Swayze,
Of course, the Swayze.
Respect for the Swayze.
Yeah, I'll give this a 9. This sits at a 9 for me constantly. That's not moving until the day I die, so.
Yeah, like comfort movie territory.
Of course, yeah. But if anyone else has some Swayze input
or other recommendations for themes or stuff we can do.
We're looking for queer horror for next month.
Gay vampires. I'm trying to do like a gay.
If we can narrow it down to gay vampires, that would be good.
Homoerotic vampires too. Like it doesn't need to be explicitly gay. But like for Pride Month, we're thinking like gay monster, gay horror theme.
If we can narrow it down to vampires, that would be good.
Yeah, but not necessary.
Yeah, Breaking Dawn is the straightest one. So
but it's like we'll find a way to argue. Something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. Hope everyone is doing well, taking care of yourself, holding up all right. Watch some movies. Let us know what you think. Give us some suggestions.
Take care of each other.
And it's a Patrick Swayze summer. Let us know what kind of summer you're having.
Yes.
What are your plans? What are your visions? Mood board it, vision it.
Yep. Well, we want to see it. We want to hear it.
Do it, dream it, be it, or whatever. And have a lovely rest of your evening. And goodbye and good night.